Hello everyone, my name is Guilherme and I am a DevOps and SRE engineer for SAP inside ProServe on AWS. And today we are going to talk about some very interesting subject for those enterprise users out there, for those enterprise professionals. So a very big number of enterprises, they use SAP as probably their backbone for software for controlling a lot of processes inside their organizations. So today we're going to talk about how to modernize the installation from one SAP software, which hasn't changed much, from, I don't know, something about 2 months that one installation can take up to 2 hours. So let's discuss our agenda. So in our agenda, we will cover then what is SAP. And for those there who are watching, please join me on Slack and tell me if you already know what is SAP. I just want to know from our audience here if you guys are aware of the SAP software. The second topic is then we're going to cover that SAP installations, they haven't changed much. Then we are going to discuss about automations in batch, the automations that are available out there already. Then we're going to discuss automations with Ansible, which is this project I'm going to present all about. How does this automation work? The challenges, so the most important, most interesting part of this process, so the challenges I had throughout the process. The benefits that evolving, that modernizing the way we install software in our organizations from, I don't know, more traditional ways to a more DevOps-like approach. The benefits for that. And at last, the help I'm looking for from the community here who's listening to me. Okay, so what is SAP? For those who don't know there, SAP is probably the 4th or 5th biggest company, IT company worldwide. And they became huge like this because SAP is the most famous, the most effective ERP solutions company. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. And SAP has the software which has the same name that controls everything for your company. So let's say you are a manufacturing company, SAP will control everything from the quotations you do with your suppliers, from tracking the logistics when you actually place the order to purchase some goods from them, tracking the logistics, receiving them on your branch, putting them on the warehouse, using then those goods you bought to put them actually in your manufacturing line, your production line, producing whatever you're producing, then selling, controlling the sales orders too. And all of that while still controlling the controller areas, the HR areas, the projects areas, let's say that your manufacturing line demands very specific projects for each of your items. So SAP is this huge company that controls all of that. So when you put SAP inside your company, you will be controlling all your processes with this knowledge, worldwide class knowledge, controlling those processes, and they always are a very good benefit they always bring a very good benefit for your organizations. Showing here a big number just to show how important SAP business is. So using the source from their website, nowadays 77% of world's transaction revenue touches at least one SAP system. So this is huge, right? So 77% of all the world's revenue cross at least one SAP system. So this is very impressive. Okay, so now we know what SAP is, but I'm gonna tell you that SAP installations, they haven't changed much on the past decades, let's say. So SAP was created there in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. They became pretty popular on the 90s and also on the 2000s. But SAP installations, they didn't change much. Of course, they are much easier than they used to be. But still, when you are installing SAP on your enterprise, on your company, you still are gonna receive some media files from SAP, and you're gonna have to take several steps to prepare your operating system and then to install SAP. So you have to pick between, I don't know, Red Hat or SUSE for your operating system. Then you have to create several folders, preparing that. You have to connect your instance to the network, to, I don't know, a shared file system, to control all of your data there. You have to pick on the database you want to use with SAP. So it's a an extensive amount of work to be done to install SAP on your organization. So that's not fast, and in many cases, it can take up to 2 months to install your SAP landscape on your organization. So this is pretty much how an SAP installation looks like in AWS. So this is the average, okay? There can be some differences when we are doing from companies to companies. And as I was mentioning, the process of installing that can take up to 2 months. And that's why easily one documentation for just one of the SAP systems, and I'm going to discuss about some of them right now. Just for one of them, the documentations can take about 30 pages. So this is very, very big, and these are already like the easy documentations to approach. And a typical SAP landscape will have at least 4 servers. Okay, so if you're going for high availability, of course, but you have then the database, so database in high availability too, the ASCS, which is the communication server, the PAS, which is the primary application services where your users will actually connect to, and the AAS is the additional application service which make your SAP installation high availability. And you also connect to Amazon EFS probably, or Amazon S3